Hello YouTube, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting on a Fan. I hope all of you are well. How you doing? So I love saying how you doing. I do, I really do. So, hold on. Isis, what are you doing? Oh, she's looking for a way to get up into one of her favorite places, the living room window. And she's having a bit of a dilemma. Okay, let me get back to the video. I am so sorry, YouTube. Okay, so the time is approximately 11:26 p.m. Eastern Time, and the date is Wednesday, August 26th, 2020. So, I am continuing with one of my favorite series of videos on my YouTube channel, the entries, or rather the tarot and oracle card prompts for the Many Moons Lunar Planner. And this one is from the Many Moons 2020 Lunar Planner. So I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the cover. It's definitely a well-worn cover. And I'm going to turn to the page with the tarot and oracle card prompts. But before I read them, I have the honor and pleasure of using a brand new oracle card deck, one that I've wanted for a while, and it is called the Sacred Self-Care Oracle, created by Jill Pyle, illustrated by Tatiana Bedenikina. Jill Pyle is the CEO and co-founder of Goddess Provisions. I love their stuff. I love their stuff, love their emails, love their products. But I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the cover of the box. And I'm going to have him do a close-up of the back of the box, which is the underside of the box. And then, of course, when I cast the cards, I will definitely have him do a close-up of the front of each card and the back of each card. Anyway, so I'm going to read to you the tarot or oracle card polls for September 2020, and it reads, pull one card or a series of cards for this month. Suggested spread, which by the way is a 5-card spread. Card number 1, what is most important to focus on this month? Card number 2, how to stay disciplined and devoted. Card number 3, a strategy to get things accomplished easier. Card number 4, how to connect to the love of the work. Card number 5, the benefits of this strengthening process. So, and of course, those of you that have had readings with me, whether private readings or readings at public venues, you know that I always turn to the bottom of the deck for the final message card. Now, I don't think that I will need to refer to the accompanying guidebook like I did with the Animal Totem Tarot's guidebook in the Llewellyn's 2020 Tarot Calendar September 2020 video. But if I do, you know. So I'm just going to give the deck a quick shuffle. It's a beautiful deck. It has that linen finish, and I know that Simon of the Hermit's Cave has often referred to this kind of finish as a rose petal finish. And I must admit, even though it's been a while since I've touched living roses, I wholeheartedly agree with that assessment, because they do feel like these beautiful rose petals. You know, Bast the kitten is just gorgeous, but she, her fur off her body is a little coarse, which is one of the reasons why I itch a lot when she's in the vicinity. So, you know, now all of you know the secret as to why I itch in a lot of my videos. Okay, so, and as I'm casting these cards, I call upon Isis Fortuna, who is the goddess of the sacred tarot, and by extension, the goddess of divination. And I ask that what we all need to know be revealed to us right now. And of course, this means all of you in YouTube land, meaning everyone who watches this video, my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos. Hello, Isis. You know that I'm doing a video, right? I love you. This card kept sticking out, so that is going to be the first card. but I want to do it a little more shuffling. Are you going to do that? Okay. You're going to make it easy for me? Thank you so much, Isis. You're working for me. Wow. Stop the presses. She's working for me. Ooh. Well, so much for that. Okay. Cut into 3 piles. And to make this super easy for everybody, I'm going to hold up each card. At some point I will go back to casting the cards on a table or whatnot, but not right now. Isn't that right, Isis? I love you. I love you. I love you. Don't make me wring your neck. I love you. Okay, so card number 1. What is most important to focus on this month? Okay, so I'm going to hold up the card. I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the back of the card design, which is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And yes, that's why I'm wearing this gorgeous purple shirt. And then I'm going to have him do a close-up of the front of the card. And by the way, I happen to love the fact that I can tell if the card is upright or reversed before I turn it over. By the way, I love these kinds of tarot and oracle card decks. They make me so happy because I almost never use reversed cards. I don't have an aversion to them. And you know, I think I'm long overdue to do a video where I talk about upright versus reversed. That's a forthcoming video. I'll need to write that down. But anyway, card number 1, what is most important to focus on this month? So September 2020, and it is, oh my God, it's my fellow mermaid lovers, flow like water. No, the woman is not a mermaid, but she definitely has that mermaid look to her. Okay, so flow like water. You know, it's so funny because I cannot help but think about Laguz, which is one of my favorite runes. It literally means flow, and naturally it corresponds to the element of water. And, you know, so I've never cared for that expression, go with the flow. And the reason why I never cared for that expression is because it was always explained to me in a mundane setting. It was always said in my presence when I was in a mundane as opposed to a magical setting. Now, I have the honor and pleasure of being an initiated companion of a magical grove called Grove Argentum, which is a Manhattan-based chapter of the International Fellowship of the Goddess Isis. And I remember having a conversation with the priestess, who really is the high priestess, but she refers to herself as the priestess, and I honor that. But I distinctly remember talking to her at one day, and she said, you know, it's about going with the flow. So here was the first time, and this was sometime last year, but I don't remember when. I don't remember if it was during a full moon or if it was during another Sabbath, but I definitely remember she was talking about going with the flow. And it was the first time that somebody talked about going with the flow in a magical setting, and it resonated with me. So now I know that one of the most important things about going with the flow is paying attention to the flow of the energy. So flow like water. So in magical traditions, oh, you look so cute looking up at me like that. I know you want something, but you need to wait until the video ends, because you know why. Isn't that right, Isis? Her tail's in the vicinity of the wheel, so of course I had to move back. She's just looking at me. She's so beautiful. I love you, Isis. I love you. So it's about going with the flow of the energy. It's about paying attention to what the energy is telling you. In magical traditions, thank you. Hello, Isis. Hi, you look so beautiful. I love you. I'm not giving you anything until after the video, so yeah. She knows the video's on. That's why she's not hissing. Her patience is very... She really wants it so bad. Isn't that right, Isis? I love you. I'm sorry. Now I'm going to focus on you, YouTube land, I promise. Okay. So here's the thing about in magical traditions. In magical traditions, the element of water represents love, intuition, and healing. So, in matters of love, romantic love, self-love, in matters of familial love, lack thereof, in matters of community love, in matters of healing, especially emotional healing, mental healing, physical, psychological, sexual, financial, in matters of honing and strengthening your intuition. Where is the energy flowing? In what direction is the energy flowing? In what area of your life is the energy flowing? So for all of September 2020, and I'm going to be super specific, so from Tuesday, September 1st, 2020, which happens to be the date of the full moon in Pisces, surprise, surprise, to Wednesday, September 30th, 2020, go with the flow of wherever the energy is directing you, guiding you, leading you. Whether it has to do with any kind of love, romantic, familial self, whether it has to do with healing your body, your mind, your soul, your finances, your sexual energy, etc., whether it has to do with honing and strengthening your intuition, follow the direction of the energy. Okay. Put on my eyes. Card number 2, how to stay disciplined and devoted. I love that. How to stay disciplined and devoted. So once again, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the back of the card, the gorgeous back of the card design. And then I'm going to have him do a close-up of the front of the card design. You sure? Okay. You did a close-up. Okay. Now I'm going to look at the card and tell you what it is. Drink tea. And by the way, I did begin preparing for this, for the recording of these two videos, these two back-to-back videos by drinking tea. Interestingly enough, it's called Focus Tea. It's a Twinings herbal tea, which is delicious. And I have found that for me, my experience, drinking that Focus Tea enhances my intuition, and it juices up my creativity. But what I'm going to say to all of you, and I need to say it this way because there are people who cannot drink certain kinds of tea. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. There are people that take blood thinners, for example, warfarin or Coumadin. I forgot which one is the generic and which one is the brand name. I believe warfarin is the brand name and Coumadin is the generic, or vice versa. I'll have it clear in the description box. But, you know, because of that, they cannot drink green tea. Or at least it's highly inadvisable for them to drink tea. Now, I must admit, there was a time when I was prescribed blood thinners, and I remember I wanted to have matcha tea. I mean, I was curious because I was like, I couldn't go anywhere without saying matcha, 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 as opposed to Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. By the way, this is coffee. You know, the specialty coffee of La Casa de Roberto, formerly known as Chejo Bear. But for my own peace of mind, if it is medically possible for you to drink tea, if it is medically advisable for you to drink tea, by all means. And it's so funny because, you know, drinking tea and coffee, like down to the bare minimum, is actually healthier for the human body, or for the human-looking body. And it's funny because I haven't had something that I used to drink religiously, and that is take a carafe of water and then steep the tea bags into the top and pour water over it and basically steep it in the refrigerator. I haven't done that in a while, and I think I need to go back to doing that. But I want to buy a new glass pitcher. I want to do that. So I really feel like if you can drink tea, if it is medically safe for you to drink tea, by all means drink tea. I know that some people take certain kinds of medications, so there are certain kinds of teas they cannot drink. You know, there are some citrus fruits or some citrus fruit items in teas, but one cannot drink because of certain medications. So for my own peace of mind, go to your herbalist, go to your Ayurvedic practitioner, go to your homeopathic practitioner, go to your nutritionist, consult that expert that you need to consult on which teas are safe for you to consume, and whichever teas they are, then go for it. And for those of you who can drink virtually every tea, so which tea have you not had in a long time? And which tea have you not consumed enough of? Especially those teas that have a medicinal or physical healing property. You know, it's so funny because lately Japan has been coming up in my life lately, and I do not know the intricacies of the Japanese tea ceremony. So there's a part of me that feels like, you know, that may be something that you might want to consider learning, and maybe something practice once you learn it, practicing it. But I also feel like, you know, there are teas that you know what? I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to read a portion. It's card number 21. Mantra. I'm inspired by the wisdom of the plants and the beauty of ceremony. Yes. The preservation, preparation, presentation, and drinking of tea is an ancient ceremony, one that has a lot to teach us about the reverence and care we can show our guests and ourselves in simple moments. And the journal prompt, how do you feel when you drink tea or another beverage with intention? Taking the time to enjoy it without any distractions and focusing on all the flavors and feelings that arise. Let's find out. I feel good. I feel very happy. I feel, I need to lower this. That video I was uploading is almost done. Oh, that was good. Okay, that was really like fulfilling and energizing. Okay. Alright, let me continue because I've taken a little too much time. I apologize, YouTube. Okay. Card number 3. A strategy to get things done. Excuse me. Card number 3. A strategy to get things accomplished easier. So, from the top, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person look at the card. Or rather, show you the card first. That's what I meant to say. And I'm going to read this one last time. This card represents a strategy to get things accomplished easier. And it is, watch a movie. That's so funny. It's funny because, you know, historically, I've never cared for watching motion pictures, either in the cinema or at home. I've come to appreciate motion pictures enough to the point that I call them movies now. Well, let's call them movies more often. Hi, Isis, I'm still doing a video. You know what that means, right? Right. She violently shakes her head no. Like, no. No. So you know what? And sometimes I will watch a movie before I need to do things. Like, let's say, write a blog post, meet with a client, upload videos. I have not had the chance to watch movies today. Tomorrow may be another story. But yeah, watch a movie. And if there are certain motion pictures that you haven't watched in a while, this is a great time to do it. You know, one of the things for me about 2020 is that this has been a year of nostalgia for me. And there are certain motion pictures that I have watched again, that I've loved watching again. I'm actually going to start watching all of the Bourne motion pictures. You know, the ones that were created, that were based on novels written by the late and great Robert Ludlum. Okay. So, and of course, popcorn, bitches. Popcorn. See, I happen to love popcorn. I don't eat it that often, but you know I'm going to be eating popcorn tomorrow. Okay, card number 4, how to connect to the love of the work. So I'm going to substitute work for the goal, the desire, the intention. Actually, I stand corrected. I'm going to say that another synonym for the work would be goal, intention, desire. I think I need a little bit of seltzer this time. It's cucumber melon. I like to have a variety between I like to vary between hot and cold beverages. That's so good. And of course, I'm casting the cards and conducting a reading, so what am I doing? A lot of talking. How to connect to the love of the work. So I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the card. And then once he finishes his close-up, I will look at the card and tell you what it is. Connect with your ancestors. You know, ancestor veneration has become an incredibly popular topic of late. And it is no coincidence that, at least in my part of the world, we are moving in the direction of autumn. You know, autumn is also known as the season of the witch. Or as one of my favorite authors, Margie Lapanja, author of The Goddess's Guide to Love, would say, the season of the switch. So the season of the witch, the season of the switch, is a great time for honoring one's ancestors. Of course, you know, there are some things that one can do anytime, but there's something energetically appropriate, especially for those of us who are witches, Wiccans, pagans, and magical practitioners, to honor ancestors, especially in autumn. But ask your ancestors to guide you. Connect with them. You know, I've never been caught up and I have to know a certain energy's name. Like, I've never been caught up in what's my angel's name. I have so many angels and so many psychic guides, I don't know all of their names. I remember years ago being told that I have 39 psychic guides. I know the names of 2 of them. 2. All these years later, going on almost 2 decades, I only know the names of 2 of them. And you know what? That's okay. You may not be able to even find out your ancestors' names, depending upon where they were born, what the kinds of record-keeping practices were at that time, in that state, province, county, country, region, etc. But if you can, and if you feel led, go with that leading. Okay. Card number 5. The benefits of this strengthening process. So once again, I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of this 5th card, the final card in this 5-card spread. And then I will look at the card and tell you what it is. Sing. Oh my goddess. You know, it's so funny. I was in 2 choirs. I was in my high school choir, and I was in one of the more well-known choruses in the New York City area. And this was years ago. I was younger. I was in my 20s, I think. Well, when I was after high school. But, you know, I don't sing that much. And it's so funny because, you know, it's not about sounding good. I mean, let's face it, this isn't American Idol. You know, this isn't The Voice. Sometimes you need to sing your heart out. You need to sing your heart out no matter who's around, no matter what you're doing, no matter where you're going. Sometimes it's about singing your heart out. And you know what? I think that now it's after 10 p.m. Actually, it's after 11 p.m. and it's close to midnight right now. So I'm not going to sing out loud because I do have neighbors. Tomorrow's another story. Tomorrow during the day is another story. And of course, if you sing, sing whatever your heart wants you to sing. Whatever your soul moves you to sing. And last but not least, the final message card from the bottom of the deck. I'm going to have my awesome audiovisual person do a close-up of the card. And then I'm going to look at the card and tell you what it is. You can't make this stuff up. I go from Sing, which is the 5th and final card in the 5-card spread, to Chanting. And it's card number 8. in this oracle card deck. So of course, I you know, it's so funny because there are so many mantras that can be chanted. You know, even though she's not my primary, secondary, or tertiary goddess, like a lot of energy healing practitioners, I have a deep affinity with Quan Shi, the Chinese goddess of mercy, compassion, and forgiveness. And it has been said that saying her name 3 or more times in a row brings peace and relieves suffering and brings miracles. And I can honestly say that in my life, when I have chanted Quan Shi's name 3 or more times in a row, I have experienced peace and harmony and cleansing and healing. When I have chanted other goddesses' names, I have experienced the same thing, but to a greater or lesser degree, and depending upon the goddess's name and her vibration and what she represents, as in what she is the goddess of, I also experience other things. Like, my personal goddess is more commonly known as Isis, but one of her ancient Egyptian names is Oset. So just in my mind, hearing myself saying her name, Oset, 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 I began seeing in my mind a brilliant, bright, beautiful full moon, rich and radiant and overflowing with opulent, wondrous, magical energy. So it doesn't have to be a traditional mantra like Om Mani Padme Hum, or oh, I can hear it in my mind, but it's not coming out of my mouth. The traditional chant to Tara, Tutare, Tutare, I can hear that part. So it doesn't even have to be that. If there is something that you want to chant as a mantra, you know, one of my favorite phrases from Dr. Catherine Ponder's books is peace, health, plenty. So even chanting that, peace, health, plenty, peace, health, plenty, peace, health, plenty, peace, health, plenty, peace, health, plenty. Even that makes a difference. It certainly makes a difference for me. Okay. So as I start to come back into planet Earth, come back into my body, come back onto planet Earth, I want to take a few moments to thank you, YouTube, for honoring who I am and what I do. I want to thank all of you for all the likes, for all the shares, for all the comments, for all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, I want to thank Sandra G for being my 500th subscriber to my YouTube channel. Thank you again. And of course, thank you to all of you who have already availed yourselves of my psychic services in 2020, this Emperor year, the year of a solid, balanced foundation, and all of you who are already on your way to diving deep and availing yourselves of my psychic services. And of course, thank you to those of you who are scheduling your sessions with me right now. Good night. Enjoy the rest of your week. May you manifest wholeness and healing, money and magic, and stay tuned for the next video.